Warning. This program contains frank and mature discussions intended to educate and advocate on the subjects of sexuality, sex, and gender and body positivity. Due to the nature of the topics being discussed, this may include subject matter and language that some may find offensive. This program is intended for adults only. If you are under the age of 18, if such material offends you, or if it is illegal to view such material in your community, please exit now.
Brown chicken, brown cow. 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 This is fun. Brown chicken, brown cow. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Welcome to the Brown Chicken, Brown Cow Nugget episode. This month, we're all doing the whole looking forward, looking back thing. And one of the things we wanted to do is reach out to a lot of our listeners and understand them. See what they think about the show, see where they think we should go, and also find out who's listening. So we actually were very pleased that this individual wanted to come on the show with us. Her name is Stacye. Stacye, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Your first contact with us was very, very cool. But before we get to that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am an Alaskan, so we don't do a lot of, we snuggle a lot, which is one of the things I love about the podcast, is it's snuggle friendly.
Yes.
Pretty much just go through and try not to freeze and enjoy the beautiful summers, which if you haven't been, you have to.
I will make it up there someday. I want to make it up there for 2 times of the year, the time of the year when it's always light and the time of the year that it's like always dark. So
we've got 5 hours and 46 minutes of light today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a very short day. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about you are also one of our Patreon supporters. What brought you to support the show?
So I am a lover of podcasts, and being in accounting, I can listen to them all day.
Oh, good.
And I heard a blurb on one of my favorite podcasts called Ice Cream Social.
Oh, yes, Matt Mattingly.
one of our groups, one of our scoops is starting his own podcast. And I was like, wow, that sounds great. It's open. It's just the right amount of funny and intelligent conversation. It's not overbearing on the sex. You know, some people make it all about funny, and you guys don't. And when you were pitching it, I was like, this has got to be one of the ones that I grab onto.
Well, great. Thank you. That does mean a lot that you saw and heard exactly what we were trying to shoot for, to be entertaining and be educational and, be silly at times, but also have the density to the show that some people may
a lot of respect.
Enjoy. Yeah. So what are some of your favorite things that you've learned about the show or some of the things that have touched you?
My 3 favorite episodes are, number 1, disabilities and sex.
Oh, okay.
I'm bipolar, and I'm supposed to have a ramped-up sex drive, but I don't. And it really took me out of my own skin and said, it's okay. And I was like, wow, I've never had anybody put it into that context before.
Right.
And that was amazing to me. And that's when I said, I have to give them money. It's not much, but I have to give something because I want this to keep going. I lived in Seattle, so I know the sisters. Not personally anymore because it's been about 15 years, but they are an amazing group, and you guys promoted them so well. It was one of my favorite interviews.
The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. It was a great interview. We had a great time. You definitely need to, this is for anybody listening, definitely need to go back and listen to that episode because they do such great work. Yeah, and the third one, I worked for an Orthodox rabbi for about 2 years, and the Judaism, the spirituality theme was amazing, but that one was one of the best interviews because it was clear, concise, and the humor. People don't know that Jews have humor. they don't know that they have sex or humor or they're sexual beings and they express it a different way. And that's one of the reasons why we pulled that episode together. And AO, oh my gosh, AO, she's beautiful, she's wonderful, she's so brilliant to talk to. It was so much fun to have her on the air with us. But yeah, those are 3 really good picks. Yeah, so let's talk about these 3 episodes have touched you, and we have more episodes kind of like that coming up, and we're still doing the theme thing. So after this month, we're moving on to polyamory, and then we're moving on to non-standard or non-normal, I hate using the word normal, but non-normal relationships and stuff like that. But what would you like to see as a listener? Where would you like to see the show go or topics?
See, polyamory is something that I have a couple of friends who are actually Reformed Jews that are polyamorous. And from their point of view, it's also a religious thing. So polyamory on a whole has been actually a big question.
Yeah.
Is how do other people bring it in without the religion kind of thing?
Right.
And I also am always interested about him, her, it, them, and I know it sounds rude, but some people prefer that term, and almost an alienistic, I don't feel human kind of way, and that you guys have touched on throughout all the podcasts. I mean, every other 2 or 3 have someone who believes in that. That also fascinates me. Oh
yeah, the gender identity is huge for the community right now. It's huge for people to find themselves, and I think that's, like you said, it's something that we're really striving to bridge those gaps and give people that understanding. One thing I like to say is we try to pop the bubbles of misunderstanding to let people see that, oh, that's what that is. Oh, great. So yeah, thank you. Like I said, that's fantastic. Possibly we're going to be going into October with more for information on that, and also if I roll it back, we're also doing June for LGBTQAI. It's an alphabet soup now. It's all a lot of fun.
Right, and it is kind of weird because I identify as bisexual, and I hate when people go, "Oh, you're just confused." I'm like, no. Since I was really young, I just find people beautiful. Why can't people be beautiful? And having a podcast that brings out that talent, like you guys, and puts you into a room with the knowledge, and it just comes together beautifully. And I love this podcast.
You're making me all sorts of squeak. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, we originally wanted to make this show. Our first vision was just sexual, positivity. But the deeper we got, and the more people we talked to, we realized that the umbrellas are a little bit wider than that. That's why we're picking up body, positivity and gender identity positivity, and just gender positivity in general, because there's so much more that all of this becomes intertwined in different ways. So we're really trying to express that and open that up for a lot of people. So do you have any hopes for us in the next year?
Monkey, I hope you continue to blush, because I can hear it over. I swear, it's just like, and then of course the girls would chime in, "Oh, you're blushing," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I could hear it over here. I could hear it in Alaska, man."
Oh, you're making me do it right now. My face is all hot. Oh, for those of you who don't know, what she's referring to is there's a challenge on the show that if you can make Monkey blush, raise that Monkey blushometer up during the during our tape show and during our podcasts, the madam guarantees that at least 4 or 5 blushes per episode happens. And here's a little inside scoop: the madam is the one that makes me blush most of the time. So she'll sit there and just do things. She said things to me tonight just before we started to get me blushing, even before I went on the air. So it's something weird. I can talk about sex. I can talk about identity. I can talk about body positivity. I can talk about my sex. But as soon as somebody points that finger at me with a little sexiness and a little bit of flirtiness, I go all blushy. Yep. It's silly. But Stacye, I want to say thank you. You are great. You are one of our champions. Thank you for standing up and exposing the world to us to people you know and online and stuff like that, and also sharing your thoughts on our Facebook page. It's been fantastic. So big hugs. And
you too. Thanks, Monkey.
Yeah, so if you want to hear more, if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas, please call us. And this goes for the people out there, too. We're an open show. We're not just open about ideas. We're open to hearing from you and wanting to hear from you. And this is the type of thing we like to do, is reach out to you and bring you on the air and see what worked, what didn't work. So, keep us in mind. This is Monkey. You've been listening to a Nugget edition of the BCBC podcast, and stay tuned for the rest of the month. We have a lot of stuff, a lot of fun happening, and you get to learn a lot about the inside, outside, and what we have planned in the future. Thank you very much. Say bye, Stacye.
Bye.
Hi guys, this is Sean Monkey McEnany, Monkey for short. What you need to know now is that brown chicken, brown cow needs your love. It needs your help, and personally, we could use your money. But short of that, what you need to do is go out and like our Facebook page. Number 2, give us a review on whatever podcast ability you have. Go out to iTunes, go out to Google Play, give us a good review because that helps. Number 3, subscribe. Subscribe to our podcast because that helps our numbers, helps us with advertisers, helps us with everything. It makes us look good, actually. And number 4, and this is very important, come close to the speaker. It's fantastic. You can go out to Patreon and support us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/BCBC podcast. You can support us at whatever level of support you think you can manage. I don't want you to give us money if you can't do it, but I want you to give us some money, and we'll give you back some love as well. We'll give you back some stuff. We'll talk about you on the radio. Who knows? But in the end, supporting us helps keep the show going. Subscribing to the podcast gives us better numbers. And liking our Facebook page, guess what? You always know when a show's coming. So, this is Monkey. You're you. We are together. Cuckoo-cuckoo. Fantastic. See you on the next show.
For information on becoming a sponsor, advertising with us, or becoming a guest on our show, visit us at brownchickenbrowncowshow.com. All information in this show is copyright 2018 by the Brown Chicken Brown Cow Show and Podcast and Mariu Creative Solutions. All rights are reserved.
Brown chicken, brown cow. 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 This is fun. Brown chicken, brown cow. Brown chicken, brown cow.